Hello everybody and welcome back to another Canadian Reacts video. This time it is for the grand final of Eurovision 2021. This has been quite the journey for me, especially this being my first full-on Eurovision, being able to see everything and how it works and get a better understanding for it. I've only been doing the radio show for about a year for it, but I'm on season 2 of it. And that one, of course, you can check out currently Thursdays from 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific time here in North America. You can do so at 92.5 FM in Kamloops, or you can do so at www.thex.ca or via the TuneIn or Streama radio apps. And it's time now to talk about Eurovision overall for 2021 and how things worked. Italy won. We know that. So spoiler alert if you haven't seen that yet. Italy won, which is great, I guess. It's the first time that one of the big five has won since 2011, actually. I think that was, or 2010. Because I think 2010 was Germany. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Anyway, let's continue on. So, I have on the screen a lot of figures for you to see. On the one side, all the stuff on the white with the black text, that is the final scores for the semifinals. And also, so we'll kind of talk about some of those. I won't go into too many details. You can see them there. We'll talk about where people placed in terms of the ones that didn't make it in. And then we'll go to the finals and go from there. So first thing I want to say, though, is how immaculately run this show is. Now, I know there's technical difficulties in pretty much anything. I work with conventions. I understand that. But the fact of the matter is they're really, really good at making it seem like it runs super, super smooth. Even the transitions between the performers is great. I was talking to Saya again earlier, and I guess they do a lot of interviews and stuff like that normally in between, but maybe because of the times of COVID, they're just going through super, super fast, and I think that's great, though. But the best part, really, is the pieces where they have that house like framework set up and they have little bits of introductory pieces for each of the artists. I love that. That is beautiful. So well done, so well thought out. I don't know if that's just a Eurovision in general planning or if that's Netherlands specific planning, but wow, you guys are amazing. The best, absolute best in the world for production, and I will say that anyway. That's awesome. That's awesome. Come for me if you want. I don't care. That's just how it is. So, all right, let's deep dive into this. First of all, let's talk about the semifinals and the ones that didn't make it in. We've already touched on this a little bit. The top 10, of course, from semifinal 1, Malta, Ukraine, Russia, Lithuania, Israel, Cyprus, Sweden, Azerbaijan, Belgium, and Norway. In that specific order, if you look at it there. So now we get an idea because they just announced them normally in just any random order, and this is how it works out. A lot of people were really, really upset that Croatia didn't make it in with the song TikTok in semifinal 1. Norway beat them by 5 points by the looks of it. So Norway, I mean, the grand final could have been without Tix in it. I also found out that the reason his name is Tix is because he's got Tourette's. He's got a bit of a tic and he doesn't ever remove his glasses because he's always squinting and stuff like that. So that's interesting there. And some people felt that he was using that as a way to try to get sympathy votes. I don't know. People always come up with these things of, oh, well, this person's trying to do this for sympathy. This person's trying to do that. You know, whatever. It is what it is. Show business is what it is. You do what you can to get votes, whether he is or not, or whether it is more of a brave thing for him to do, not being one to normally do that because he's so self-conscious. I can totally understand that too, and that is awesome. I mean, either way, it is what it is. So let's continue on. All right, so Croatia got 110, Romania with 85, Slovenia with 44, Australia with 28, which probably surprised a lot of people, North Macedonia with 23, and Ireland, of course, with 20 points, getting the lowest of the first semifinal, which still astounds me because, honestly, Ireland had one of the best stagings of the entire Eurovision 2021. Honestly, it was different, it was amazing, but it turned out to be the vocals and stuff that kind of came down to why they didn't place as high, I think. And I know Leslie is an amazing vocalist, but I think some of her stylistic choices and just being so breathy, running back and forth and stuff could have caused some of the issues there. So it's nice to see where we stand with these numbers, because I was wondering when we would get to see where the points and stuff came from. All right, second semifinal. Obviously, Switzerland got the most with Tout l'Univers at 291. Iceland following that. Bulgaria, which was a very nice surprise to see, especially placing so high there. Portugal, Finland, Greece, Moldova, Serbia, San Marino, and Albania. I am really shocked that Portugal got above Greece and San Marino, but again, that's my taste versus other people, so whatever. And Albania just made it in above Denmark. Well, not just. I shouldn't say that, because there is a big points difference, 112 versus 89. But Denmark was right after Albania, but I think they made the right choice bringing Albania in with Karma. But I am surprised that Denmark got higher than Estonia and even, well, to a certain degree Latvia, but again with the performance and stuff there. So Denmark was at the top of the list for just missing out on getting into the final. Of course, Austria right after that, which was one of the higher placing of the gospel songs. Estonia, Poland, Czech Republic, Georgia being kind of down there on the lower end, and Latvia with The Moon is Rising. It was the weakest one of all of them. I mean, it got 14 points. Georgia was the next lowest, and then Ireland, that's really sad to me there. I can't believe that Omaga got higher than Ireland, but anyway. So yeah, The Moon is Rising is a great song. Again, though, the staging and stuff wasn't really the best for it. We've gone over this in the other semifinals and stuff like that, but let's move on to the grand final, and we'll talk first about each entry in the order that they performed. So Cyprus started the show off, and with El Diablo, a great song. And I think, what is her name again for Cyprus? Elena was having a great time, and it was a great, like, powerful, energetic, nice song, great opener, just like San Marino was for the second semifinal and so on. I don't know. I think she did a fantastic job. Some people have been really, really down on how the running order is, I guess, because they're worried that people forget about the earlier entries. And I mean, when you have something like this, 26 entries, and next year will be 25 because it was a big 5 entry that made it this year. I mean, people are still enthusiastic about it. Like, watching the show and stuff like that, I think people were quite enthusiastic, especially with the differences in the songs. So I don't know what else to say, but I thought Cyprus did a really good job. So they didn't place very high, coming in at 16th overall, but, you know. Albania, number 2. Apparently Albania was the second performer in 2019 as well, or was going to be for 2020. I just remember there being a big kerfuffle about that. She did fantastic again. I mean, and is it Angela? Anxhela? I want to say Angela. I don't know. I'm Anxela. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm sorry. But a very, very great vocal performance. She was by herself on stage again. Just, it worked like the spotlight on her. This is one of those ones where she shines. She's got a lot of great energy. She had the look for it. She had the great sound. So really, really good performance. Albania, though, ended up coming in 21st place with 57 points in the grand final. Israel was next. What people say was Eurovision 2021's version of Mariah Carey. She's got that really high pitch sound that she could do. She looked fantastic. She sounded a little bit off from the semifinal until she got to the higher parts. You could tell she was really, really having fun with it. And I think at the grand final, everybody's on edge just a little bit because it's your final chance to make a big splash. But it's also kind of your last time with the song potentially. I think some people get fatigued with performing the same thing over and over and over again. Not everybody does, but there are big artists that have certain songs that everybody wants to hear, and they are sick and tired of it. Cher can't stand Jesse James, I'm pretty sure. It's Turn Back Time or Jesse James. I'm pretty sure it's Jesse James. She can't stand that song. It drives her nuts. Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On, allegedly, was not one of her favorites, but you know, it's like the defining song, which is funny because Ne pas sans moi was the Eurovision song that really launched her career. for when she performed for Switzerland. So, but it's amazing and funny what songs make or break someone's career or become synonymous with them. Anyway, Israel, I love what they did with her hair. That is awesome. The crown. She's shone on stage. Her dancers were very involved. I mean, compared to Latvia's performance the other day, very, very awesome. And Israel ended up coming in. Where did Israel? Oh, number 17, which was surprising to me, just under Cyprus with 93 points. All right, Belgium is up next. The wrong place. Now, this one was a dark horse. A lot of people were expecting it to place higher. Belgium ended up getting 19, so with 74 points overall. It wasn't that astounding of a staging setup. Like, it was neat having the band kind of around the main singer in the middle, and it's got that kind of haunting vibe to it, but without the music video, like, I wasn't as drawn to it as I was when I initially saw the music video for it. It had that paranormal style kind of haunting feel to it, and I was really drawn into that. And I think that was the same with some other people, and maybe just that versus what we got in the on stage performances. So I'm not that surprised that the song placed kind of on the lower end of things in the grand scheme of things. But again, not a bad song. Pretty good. Russia was next at number 5. And Russia actually, when I had to revise my order of songs that I wanted to make it high in there, Russia's the only one that made it the highest, actually. And that's fine. I mean, Russian Woman was a very, very, very well performed song. Manisha looked even more comfortable with it and having so much fun with it. Her and her dancers, like, flawless performance, even better than the semifinal that they were in before. Like, just awesome overall. I'm so proud of them, and having a song like this that kind of goes against everything that the Russian government seems to stand for, at least what we're led to believe, is just, I love it. I love everything about the performance. I thought that it was just so good. Malta came up next. Now, this one was surprising at their placing. I felt that the performance, like, okay, Je me casse. Sorry, I was looking up the name of the song again because I couldn't think of it. Destiny, it felt like at the semifinal she was almost just going through the motions. I didn't get that energy feeling like in the video, or I don't know. The grand final was a little bit better, but again, when you compare it to some of the other performances, like the energy of Loco Loco, which was probably one of the most energetic of the performances I felt anyway, for Serbia, I think that it was, coming in at the placing it did, still in the top 10 at number 7 is a good choice. 255 points. It was one of the favorites for a long time. But ultimately the top 3 that the bookies thought towards the end did come in the top 3. Not necessarily in the order that a lot of people thought for the longest time, but not far off from it. So Malta's performance, pretty good. And Destiny does have some great vocals. She is very young. She has a lot going for her. This girl is not going to be brought down by anything I say or anybody else. Like, she's got a good future, and honestly, I wish her the best. She is going to be someone to watch out for. Malta, you've got a brand new superstar. Number 7 was Portugal. We all know how I feel about Portugal. I am honestly kind of polarized on it. I'm glad they didn't make it into the top 10. I know that's kind of a horrible thing to say. The performance was very, very similar to what they did in the semifinal the other day. They have that film noir style opening, which is a neat stylistic choice. Nobody else did that. But the song, it just kind of goes on. Love is on my side. But it's like that. It's like, love is on my side. Like, obviously, he's better at it than I am. Far better at it than I am. But very nasally. And I love Ayumi Hamasaki. She's my favorite Japanese singer. Very nasally there. But I don't know. Something about his voice in particular. And maybe this song, because it's just another blind love song, grates on my nerves. I don't know what else to say. And I'm going to get lots of downvotes. I always do on these videos for some reason. It's so funny, but these are my opinions, and of course, you guys are free to disagree or agree. Or I just love the conversations that we can have and so on. So Portugal, no, not too bad. Not placing in the top 10. I'm not too surprised, honestly. Serbia is next. Like I said, Loco Loco, one of the most energetic performances of the night. The girls obviously are having fun while they're up there on stage, and I thought it was a great song. It's a very energetic song. That's just how it is, and they've got that whole hair throwing back thing, kind of like the '80s, and just it was, I don't know, very very energetic, very flashy, very fun, very dancey, everything that I love in a song. So good job, Serbia. Number 9, you are the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is the only country to get 0 points this year. And it's kind of a running joke. Graham Norton said it in, I'm pretty sure, in the Eurovision Story of Fire Saga movie on Netflix. We'll talk about that movie again in a little bit here, but let's finish off with this. Everybody's pissed off at the United Kingdom. I wasn't sure why, and then I thought, or someone said to me, it might have even been Saya actually, Brexit. And a lot of people are pissed off at how the UK is handling with the Brexit thing. So, okay, that's fine, but judge it by the song. But even judging by the song, when you put Embers up against the other ones, it is a bland song. I mean, the biggest thing about it really was just the big trumpets that they had come down from the ceiling. And okay, that's great. It was the first time we got to really see their performance, because, you know, they're one of the big 5. So you don't really see it. You saw clips in the semifinal, but that doesn't really do it justice. And I don't know, like, I just felt like James Newman's, again, he was almost just going through the motions is what it felt like. His backup dancers were far more invested in it seemed, having fun with it. I think he was having fun with it to a certain extent, but just the vocals weren't powerful there. It's just a very blandish kind of song, a pop song. It's got jazzy elements to it, but the fact that it came last, I am not surprised just from what I've heard of with Eurovision before and seen. But, I still feel bad for them. So coming in 26th place, United Kingdom with 0 points. All right, number 10, Greece. Probably in the top 3 stagings, in my opinion. I think Greece, I think Ukraine, and Ireland had the best staging of any of the countries, those 3 in particular, for different reasons. Greece had the flashiest, 150 million %. First of all, Stefania was just shining, literally shining, because of her outfit. I still call her the Alexis Bledel of Greece. Her face, it just matches her so much. Again, if you've seen Gilmore Girls, you'll know who I'm talking about, Rory, the daughter. Her vocals were fantastic. I mean, I got to see this performance live twice, so the one at the semifinal and this one, and it was perfect, spot on. She mentioned before that the most dangerous part is when she's going up the levels and stuff, and when she does the thing, kind of like when she leans back and there's someone behind her catching her. I think anybody's kind of wary of doing that. You always have to rely on another person, and that comfort level has to be there. I'm sure they practiced it enough, and obviously they pulled it off flawlessly. All the stuff going on in the background. I mean, you need only look in my background here. I'm in my room here. You see my bookshelves back there and how bright everything is. It's got kind of that yellow light. I love the busyness of stuff. My mom is my biggest critic when it comes to this stuff. She's always like, you have too much stuff going on in the background. They can't focus on you. So I am wearing my glittery jackets, as I have been in all of these, my performance jackets. This is probably one of my favorites and my most expensive one, because for some reason green sequins seem to be very expensive compared to the others, but I digress. So Greece, fantastic staging, awesome song, brings you right back to the 80s, came in at number 10, placed the next highest, Russia and Greece. So I'm happy with those 2. Greece was my second choice. That's right, it was my second choice. I wanted San Marino to win after Ireland was out of there, but Que Sera Sera, and I love Greece's performance, flawless. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, Switzerland was next at number 11. However you pronounce your name, awesome. He did so amazing. He's got that theatrical ability Very simplistic staging, like with the actual stuff that they used, but his vocals were just astounding. He's got that very high falsetto, and he can go up and down, and just he's got a great, awesome range. And the theatrics, I'm all for theatrics. And as much as I don't speak a lot of French, but that song, it's got a haunting feeling to it. The music video first drew me into it with all of the stuff. I would have loved if they would have had that going on in the background as well. That would have just unified it and brought it all together for me. See, I'm learning this camera. I'm sorry, guys. Unified it and brought it together for me, but ultimately a fantastic one. And he earned it at number 3. It was Switzerland and France for the longest time, like for the longest time with the bookies. And Switzerland came in at number 3, a little bit behind France in the end, but still well deserved, making it into the top 3. And you just, wow, sir, you have done an amazing job. So good for you. Number 12 was Iceland. Iceland did not perform live again. They showed exactly the same video as they did at the semifinal. Iceland was a favorite from the beginning. And I mean, they were last year as well, too. Like I said, I still feel that last year's song was just better than this year's. But hey, you know what? The televote and the juries have spoken. This song was one of the favorites. Iceland came in 4th overall. They're in the top 5. That is great. So fantastic for you guys. I'm sorry you couldn't be on stage to perform. I understand that frustration of you work so hard for something and it's right there within your reach, and then it gets taken away because of COVID, and then all of a sudden you get another chance and it's right there in your reach. And then for a second year in a row, it gets taken away because of COVID, but for an alternate reason, because your band members get it. And they made the decision to not be on stage without them. I think it was the right decision, just because certain elements of the overall performance would have been missing visually. But they still got in 4th. And, I was watching, obviously, to see, you could see that there's nobody in the audience during their performance. But when you're watching it from at home, you don't notice anything different really, unless you're really looking for it. Just that's how well the production value is. But I'm sure in person it's completely obvious, because the stage is empty and all you see is the performance up there on the screen. And again, they did the best they could. This year was a weird year all around. So props to Eurovision and props to Iceland for making it into number 4. All right, after them at 13th spot, so now this is half, is Spain. The first time we got to see Voy a Quedarme performed on stage, the full version of it, Blas Canto, amazed me. It's the one song that made me tear up out of all of them, and it has since the beginning. I don't know why. I mean, I understood there was something to have to do with his grandmother, and I now know the story that it's because his grandma passed away of COVID. He did this song, but it's a happy song. It's like a happy remembering song, he said. So beautiful. The moon coming down. The lighting, the night sky, just everything. And his vocals, the loud screaming, like high-pitched screaming, akin to Eden Aline with from Israel. Like, he is just like John's Tears. Like, those boys, those two have the best vocals this year in terms of, or the best range anyway. Beautiful. And I am at a loss for words as to how Spain only made it into 24th place. For me, that's probably one of the biggest upsets. Like, it was stunning. It was beautiful. I don't know. Like, I don't understand Spanish. I understand Spanish less than I understand French, which is less than I understand Japanese, which is less than I understand English. But it was a beautiful song. You could feel the emotion. You could feel everything. But maybe it's because I knew the story going in ahead of time. I don't know. I think Spain should have been placed far higher. But what a beautiful song. Absolutely amazing. The one that got me the most emotional. So, kudos to you, Blas Cantos. Moldova at number 14. Okay, it's got to be a stylistic choice for the way that she performs the song live. It's exactly the same way. It was a little better this time than the semifinal. But she's so breathy and very, I don't know if it's meant to be seductive. Maybe that's what she's going for. Probably is. I mean, knowing the name of this, how the song is. The dancing was great. It was on point, of course. She and her backup dancers really into it. And it's a fun song. It is. I can see why it was the most memed song of the Eurovision 2021s, you know. And Elena I don't know how to pronounce her name. No, sorry, I'm wrong person. Natalia Gordienko with Moldova. Give me some sugar, boom, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum. It's a very similar sounding song to TikTok in terms of having that. I can't remember what you call that sound in there. Boom, 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 you know, like it was really big in the 2011s and stuff. But anyway, fun song. Moldova ended up coming in, number 13. So placing above Cyprus, Serbia, Sweden, which was surprising. But again, you know, it's midway through. It's right halfway. A meme song like that, yeah, I can see. I don't argue with that. I mean, that makes sense. I figured it would be somewhere like that. So, not bad. Germany. Okay, this was the first time we got to see Jendrik. It's Jendrik, not Jendrik. I'm sorry, my bad. I should have realized that. I heard him pronounce his name, so that's how. I love this song. First of all, this is the most unique song of this year. I don't care what anybody says. It is the most unique song. And people have been hating on him right up until the live. And I think he fed off that. He's got a little bit of a troll attitude, I think, and I like that. I think that is great. You have to have a rough skin, like a tough skin when you're a performer, because people are going to come down on you. And that, I just, you know, he's great. Jendrik, hats off to you, man, because honestly, you did awesome. Beautiful. He had fun with it. They all had fun with it. They had to change the middle finger to like a peace sign type thing, but you know, every once in a while they got it in there. And just honestly, I Don't Feel Hate was definitely one of the standout songs for this year in that just the way it was. It's the most unique of all of the songs. Plain and simple. It is. And it has a great message, and I think he shone on stage. I'm so glad he had a chance to do it. I do often feel bad for thinking about the main five, like the big five, because they only get the chance to perform it once on stage at the grand final. They never have to go through the semifinals. The other artists that do have to go through at least get to perform the song twice. And you have different audiences. I think it's different audiences. Maybe some people pay to go to all of them. I don't know. But I don't know. Like you get to perform it once. Like that I don't know. Anyway, so Germany and I Don't Feel Hate. I love you. I really love that song. It'll always have a special place in my heart. And so I'm so sad that Germany came in second last. Jendrik, you deserved better. But you know what? He says it didn't bother him. He just wanted to get into it. And that is really a winner's way of thinking. And so, you know what? You've been in Eurovision now. Your career is about to skyrocket. So, sir, hats off to you. Amazing, amazing song. An amazing video. I'm sure you'll never see this, but you're adorable and your song was fantastic. So, good for you. You have a fan in me. That is for sure. Finland owned the stage again. Not exactly my favorite style of music, but I can't lie. I mean, they owned it. Them and the winners, you know, the rock bands, they had a lot of energy. Super amounts of energy. And they really used the pyrotechnics. I mean, a lot of people use the pyrotechnics. I would have gone for aquatechnics myself, or both. But, you know, Finland loves their rock music. They love their metal. At least that's what it seems. So, you know, they came in the top 10 at number 6 with 301 points. So bravo to you guys. I still would have had Russia and Greece go higher than that. But you know what? Hats off to you guys. That is 2 rock bands that have made it into the top 10. Does this mean we're going to see an influx of them for next year or future years? Who knows? Will we see no more gospel style songs because none of them made it in this year? Who knows? Only time will tell. We'll find out starting probably in September. I think that's when the submission times start. But usually it's like the early 2022 that we're going to find out. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Bulgaria, again, this was a pleasant surprise. You know, I'm not surprised they didn't make it into the top 10. It was, well, I don't know. It's technically, if you look at the scores, it's a tie between Greece and Bulgaria. But I would have thought that they would go alphabetically, but maybe they decided to award Greece with one more point or something. I don't know. I don't know why Greece is listed before Bulgaria, but ultimately Greece had a better performance, I think. But honestly, Victoria's vocals were so much better at the grand final than they were in the semifinal the other day. And I can't fault her for anything. It's a slow song, but holy crap, does she own the stage? She's the Cher Lloyd of Bulgaria. I've said that before. Everything about her voice, the way she looks, the way she holds herself, she's a consummate performer. Obviously, this song has very personal meaning to her. She had a photo, and I'm assuming it's her parents or people very close to her. She said something at the end of, in terms of holding your family close and always love them, and that's a beautiful message. And again, this is the most whimsical, fantastical performance, and she nailed it. She really, really did an awesome job. So great job. 170 points, tying with Greece for 10th place ultimately in the grand scheme of things if you look at it. So beautiful, beautiful. Lithuania was next at number 18, The Roop. So again, I've said it many times, On Fire was a better song. Discotheque, though, had lots of energy. They had the dances, which I think that dance is also kind of memed, not to the same point as Moldova's Sugar, but that female dancer is hilarious. I love her. I don't know what it is. Just the hair, I think it is. But they're having a good time, and I can't fault anybody having a good time. That's what you're there for. If you're going to do a performance, make sure you're showing that you're having a good time, no matter what you're doing. Obviously, if you're doing a really emotional song, you want to get that emotion in there and so on. But these guys were just hamming it up in their yellow suits. They stood out, that's for sure. It was a unique song. I mean, Iceland, Lithuania, Germany all had unique songs. I still think that I Don't Feel Hate is the most unique song of it. But, not bad, not bad. And they did come top 10, of course. And they are number 8, 220 points. I'm a little surprised they're that low, considering how people loved them, like right from the get-go. Probably based on last year's stuff. But not bad. Number 19, Ukraine. I said this too. This is one of the top 3 staging, in my opinion. The lead singer, I forget her name. It was just right on the tip of my tongue. But she stood out so much with that green shawl. And it looked like a forest. I mean, the whole thing is it's meant to be a song about spring. You have all the white around them, so it's like winter trends turning into spring, I guess. And it starts off slow, and you get the gist of the song, and then it slowly gets faster and faster, and then just blows up with this amazing, very Ukraine-style Slavic stuff. You've got the robots running in the background, and she's just singing away, and she's got that haunting scream at the end. High pitch, just like Eden. And just amazing. Great performance. The lead singer, though, she holds herself very composed the whole time. Even when the camera pans through the audience, she's got kind of this, like, very posh style, like, kind of look to her. I can't exactly do it, but, kind of like the staunchy, almost, I'm better than you. But I think it's like an act sort of thing. The rest of her bandmates seem a little more, less composed and more likely to be having more fun. She did let loose a little bit at the end. Like, she was doing the whole thing like this. And I don't know. I love it. This song is great. This was a dark horse. They made it in. They're at number 5. So they're top 5. That's awesome. I mean, Ukraine always puts out some great stuff. Ruslana, as I've mentioned many times, Wild Dances, love that song. So this was great. I mean, these guys have a fantastic career ahead of them. This song was better than Solove, I'd say. But still, amazing, amazing job. Hats off to you guys. Loved it. Loved the energy. It was amazing. All right, after Ukraine, we had France. Another song that we got to see kind of for the first time. Obviously, in the semifinals, they showed little bits and pieces of them. this is a song that underwhelms me in general. I loved the music video, the aspect of it, the way it was done, a film noir style. It was mystery, stylistically it was different. They went a completely different route this time. They just had Barbara on stage, and while she was giving it her all and putting her emotional into it, I disagree with France being number 2. I really do. I would have put Switzerland at number 2, and I would have brought some of the others up. This is just personal opinion. Maybe it's because I don't really understand full French and stuff, but it was just an underwhelming song to me. I don't get, and again, everybody's going to be shouting at me, well, that's because you're not European. I'm 50% Russian, but I don't live there. I never grew up there. So totally fair. Totally fair. Bash me all you want. It's good. I understand. But I don't get the joy, like why this song is so amazing, what the bravado is behind it. This one for me, it was an upset in a way. And secretly I was like, please don't let France win. Please don't let France win. And I know it's selfish. But in the grand scheme of things, I just don't understand what it's about, what the bravado is. I'm all about the showmanship of things. And this wasn't a very showy song. It was another one of those where it's just kind of, but at least it was more emotion to it than when we saw Georgia's You. I mean, honestly, The Moon is Rising and Maps were more than, like, better than You from Georgia. So I don't know, like, the song was very, very, slow paced. Voila is very repetitive. Voila, 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 voila. Like, it just, I don't know. I don't care for it personally. Moving on. All right. I was a little disappointed with Azerbaijan. I mean, okay. So Azerbaijan performed 21st and ended up coming in 20th with 65 points. Matahari is a fun song. I think the performance during the semifinal was better. I do. I think that she over-sexualized certain parts of it in the grand final, like just overdoing it to the point that it affected the vocals and made it just a little too cringy in some ways. And this is coming from someone that loves this song. This was my number 3 choice recently. But I still think that it started off strong. I love the song in general. I really love the danciness of it. I love how they're infusing the cultural pieces into it. And Effendi is a fantastic young performer. I still love the fact that they put Azerbaijan and Norway like back to back in the running. And they have that little are they, aren't they romance sort of thing between Effendi and Tix. So I don't know. But Azerbaijan's performance could have been a little more tightened up for the grand final. I'm sad they got such a lower score. I would have wanted them to go higher, but again, que sera, sera. So Azerbaijan, I still love it. I still 100% love that song. Norway was next with Tix. I have been a vocal critic of him. And it might be undeserved because, I do love Kano. I still think that Monument's a better song than Fallen Angel. I mean, that's personal choice. A lot of people agree with me, though. Tix has a Tourette's tic with his eyes and stuff like that. So, I mean, him taking off his glasses like that, it is a brave move. The song is a bland love song, kind of. It makes sense, though. Like, his staging really does make sense with the Fallen Angel thing, and it is pretty interesting to watch. It is very different, and I can't fault him and stuff for it. But Norway coming in at number 18 is interesting. I still would have put Azerbaijan above them. I would have put Belgium above them, too. And Albania and San Marino and Spain and Germany. I know, I'm terrible. But, 75 points. Not bad. Not bad. I figured Norway wouldn't make it into the top 10. Had Kano been in there, they probably would. I know. I'm beating a dead horse. I'm sorry. But a decent performance. Like, he was pretty good with the vocals and everything. Again, I can't fault him for that. So, good job. Netherlands. Another one we got to really see the full performance for the first time. This song is another one that's very, very unique. It's got African vibes to it, reggaeton. And, people say that the host country will purposely put in a weaker song. And that's just rumor as far as I know. because they don't want to win again because it's financially draining on the country and stuff, and especially after COVID. But at the same time, I mean, it wasn't a bad song. It was a very interesting song, and again, it's a standout one. It's also probably the most cohesive with the band members. It was uh, like they had a dancer and then they had the three vocalists, and I think one of the secondary vocalists is Jianggu McCroy's twin brother. But it was a cohesive unit. Like they were probably, in terms of performance, the best ones in that way. There's another word I'm trying to find here, and it's escaping me at the moment. But I think of the term soap opera, and I think of, what's the word? Everybody works together. It's cohesive. We'll just leave it at that. Very, very well done. Is it like an astounding performance? No, not so much, but it's not bad. And they used the full stage, which was great. That's all things that I ask for when I'm watching something, and they were really, really into it. So bravo to you guys. I thought that it was an amazing performance, and coming in at number 23, probably not deservedly so in my opinion, only 11 points. That's really sad. Like, I don't know. So I'm sorry. Italy, our winners, again, just like Finland, they gave a lot of energy on the stage, used a lot of the pyrotechnics. The lead singer went back and forth to each and interacted with each of his fellow performers. So just like the cohesiveness of Netherlands, so was Italy. I'll say that. You didn't really get that as much with Finland. But with Italy, yes. They're also the only band to show skin. Like, the boys were shirtless a lot of the time, and maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But they were really, really great. There was nothing wrong with their performance whatsoever. They were right on where they needed to be, and obviously engaged the crowd. And like I said, I think the audience saw they're interacting with each other as well as the audience, and they're putting on a great show. They had everything that you needed to get a great performance across. So I am not surprised that Italy won. They were not one of my favorites. Like I said many times, I'm not a huge fan of that style of music. But hey, Italy did it. And congratulations to you guys. Your careers are about to friggin' skyrocket now, too. Like, this is huge. Huge. And sets a standard, I think, for future songs in Eurovision Song Contest. We probably will see more rock punk bands in the future. So, good job. Sweden at number 25, second last. Tus was great again. His vocals were even better than they were at the semifinal. This was a fantastic choice. I like the song. It's got a great message to it as well. Can you hear a million voices calling out in the rain? And just the way that the staging was with him at first, and then you get glimpses of the backup dancers in the darkness when the light hits them. Oh, just sends chills down my spine. So very strong tail end performance. And Sweden is always awesome at this kind of stuff. Like, look at Loreen, Eric Sade, like Monzer Merlo. Like, all of these people are just awesome performers, and now Tus can add his name into that as well. So Sweden ended up coming in at number 14, 109 points. I would have placed him higher than Moldova and Portugal and Bulgaria and probably Iceland, but that's my own choice again. But no, Sweden, awesome song, and he just shone through it. Perfect vocals. And now we get to San Marino, who finished things off. My personal favorite, of course, and I've been learning to dance too, so it's like, whoa, we're like fire and gasoline, come and light it up with me, so high on adrenaline, you're my adrenalina, just one touch and I'll ignite, I'm a flame, I'm dynamite, so high on adrenaline, you're my adrenalina. Love that song. I love it. Senhit and Flowrida. Now, there is some behind-the-scenes stuff going on there. Not with them, but the jury vote. So the way I guess that they do it is that they have to perform their song for just the juries and stuff the night before. And there was a technical problem which was dangerous. So they have that spinning platform that they're on, and I guess one of the Eurovision staff members or technical people didn't stop it when they were supposed to, and so that left Senhit and her dancers having to kind of work around it, come up with some new dance things or whatever, and then they had to jump off of it while it was moving. And I mean, that thing is not small and it moves pretty fast, so that's dangerous. Nobody got hurt, thankfully, and obviously the show must go on. I guess San Marino itself made a formal complaint about this. I don't think Senhit was one of the complainers. Like, she's all performer. This isn't her first rodeo, and obviously they seemed unfazed by it at the performance tonight. What a wonderful way to finish the show. She got to start the second semifinal and she got to end the grand final. So awesome. The what do you call it? Basically, between Senhit and Florida, they had really, really good chemistry. That's what I was trying to say here. It was awesome. Like, they did really, 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 really well together. And it was such an energetic performance, and Adrenalina just will not leave my head. And I really wish that it would have gotten a higher spot. I don't understand why they only came 22nd place. Europe, 50 points. What the hell is wrong there? I think that they deserve better. But again, maybe North Americans have different music tastes than Europeans, I guess. But there you go. There you go. So, let's talk about Iceland for a moment. I don't remember the guy's name. I'm going to call him Yaya Ding Dong Guy. From the Eurovision Story of Fire Saga movie. He was the one that delivered the 12 points for Switzerland, actually, but on behalf of Iceland. And they had to have the little thing in there with him doing his bit. I want to give 12 points to Yaya Ding Dong. Play it! Play it! Oh my god, that's awesome. I mean, he's iconic. Another meme. This is awesome. Like, I wouldn't have wanted anybody else to do that. So good for you. That was well played. I love that. I love that Lordi and Monzermerlo and other performers from the past did that rooftop performance too. Like, and it's so funny because on my radio show I just did J'aime la vie. I played that one. And that one was performed, and just it's awesome that they're bringing people back, to do performances at the intervals, and it's great. It's awesome. Duncan Lawrence, obviously he tested positive for COVID recently, but he still did his performances, Arcade, and then some new stuff as well too. Brilliant. I'm sure we're going to see oh my god, what is their name now? Italy. Maneskin perform at Eurovision next year. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah. So Russia's entry is very much the toy entry, I would say, in terms of the oddityness of it. So Toy by Netta, I liken it so much to Russia's entry, and obviously that's probably why Netta gave her backing to it. Very, very similar songs, very interesting, fun songs in that respect. So I don't know, like, Italy getting first is great. I think I had a theory for a little while. I was like, maybe the top or the big five haven't gotten into the final because of the fact that you only see their performances once. But now Italy is one. What am I saying? Not okay. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Oh my God. I'm having a brain fart here. Maybe the big five haven't won in a while because you only see their performances once, and that's at the grand final. Whereas with the other ones, you can kind of learn to like them by seeing them at the semifinal first, and then seeing, comparing them, and there is that whole running order thing, but I don't know. But now Italy's won, and again, the last time a big five member won, I'm pretty sure it was 2011, and that was Germany. And now we have Italy winning, so that throws my whole thing out the window, I guess. So maybe people just they had a thirst for something different. And when you look at the past winners, 2018, we had Toy by Netta, which was a fun kind of strange, upbeat women power song, From that, you have 2019's Arcade, which is a ballad, kind of slower, well vocalized solo performance. And now you have, obviously last year we didn't have a winner, but this year we have Italy with this punk rock band. You know, you have three different complete gamuts there. Who's going to win next year? Who's going to win? We don't know. We don't even know the songs for next year. But I'm excited, and I'm excited for the journey, and I'm so grateful that I've had the chance to be a part of it this year. Like 2021 was my first full Eurovision year. So thank you guys for watching these reaction videos and taking this journey with me. I really appreciate it, and I know many of you disagree with me, and that's fine. That's great. I wish that you would talk with me more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and we can have some chats and stuff like that. But I'd love to hear what your favorites were, and you know, your reasonings and stuff for them. How would you have done the placings and stuff? I've already told you the five that I wanted to win before: San Marino, Greece, Azerbaijan, Germany, and Russia. Before that, Ireland. I still think Ireland got the short end of the stick. Ireland and Greece and Ukraine had the best staging overall, all three of them. Like, everybody else pales in comparison to them, in my opinion. If I was to give out other awards, flashiest, definitely Greece. The most energy would be Serbia. Most boring would be Georgia. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't say that kind of thing. Oh, my goodness. What other awards would I give out? The most unique song, of course, would be I Don't Feel Hate from Jendrik. Oh, and probably runners-up would, of course, be The Birth of a New Age from the Netherlands. And who else did I think had a very unique one? Russian Woman. Those three would be my top three for most unique songs. That's for sure. And then Iceland wouldn't be far behind, because that, 10 years, the song in general is quite unique there. Best male vocals, 100% is a tie between Blas Canto from Spain and Jans Tears from Switzerland. Like, those guys, immaculate. Like, their range is just insane. Best vocals for women, probably Eden Aline. And Angela Peristeri from Albania. Like, their vocals are just awesome. Blow me right away. Like, just so good. So good. Most whimsical, again, Bulgaria. Growing Up is Getting Old. Biggest bop, like dancing, I would say would be Adrenalina, Matahari. Maps, one of the most positive, like, just fun running songs, I would say would be Maps, 100%. And there was a lot of LGBT representation out there this year. Australia, Germany, Russia, Cyprus. Not Cyprus, I'm sorry. Latvia. There we go. Women power, LGBT. Vassal, North Macedonia. So that's awesome. I'm so glad to see that too. But I'm just yattering on now, guys. Let me know what you think of this video and of what your choices and stuff would have been. I'd love to hear them, honestly. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again next year for Eurovision, I'm sure. Maybe we'll discuss more things as, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I might make another video based on this. But we could do more reaction videos, and keep an eye out on my channel for more songs. I've got some stuff in the works of my own. And yeah, we'll go from there. So thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.